Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem.
Hey there folks, welcome you all to yet another Friday vlog of mine. Another Friday has caught us up, people. Yes, it has, as well as Christmas is catching us up really fast, as is the new year as well. Flaggins up to you all. It is, after all, Flaggins Up Friday, people. And we have some exciting things to talk about this week. Yes, we do. Well, one of them would be extremely exciting if it wasn't for the fact that I was having to shut my YouTube channel down. Still hoping, people. I'm still hoping it won't come to it, but God, it's looking a bit grim. Have a little sip before we get going, shall we? You know I'd buy you one, people. If you were here now, I'd buy you all one. You know, a glass of water or something. Right, without further ado, let's crack into what's exciting this week. Well, first and foremost, people, we have reached another landmark on the channel of 5,000 subscribers. I mean, wrap your head around it, people. Wrap your head around the fact that there is over 5,000 people out there in this beautiful world of ours that want to watch this old wrinkly bugger or listen to him play games or watch him talk about them. That is absolutely extraordinary. I mean, it's just, I never thought in a million years when I started this channel that I would have anywhere near that many subscribers. And as I say time and time again when I do these things, I created the channel to connect with other gamers, to just find a few other people who are like me and who wanted to listen to me dribble on about, you know, playing a game while I'm playing it, or chatting over it while I'm playing it, or listen to me do one of these, talk about things that have happened in the week, and then share their experiences with me. Likewise, in the comments or in other ways, many people have followed me on the PlayStation machine, many people have followed me on the Xbox machine, the new Facebook page has come up, so, and Twitter, people have followed me on there. I mean, the connection I've made with gamers through doing this YouTube channel has been nothing short of brilliant, people, absolutely outstanding. And it's just yet another landmark that just bamboozles my little head as to how many people want to hear my opinion, want to communicate with me with theirs, and it's just... So thank you to each and every one of you, each and every single person that has subbed the channel for whatever reason, whether it be my Let's Plays, whether it be my vlogs or my talkovers or anything at all, whatever reason you have subscribed to the channel. Welcome to you all. Welcome to the 1,000 people who have arrived since I did the 4,000. And that really wasn't that long ago, people. And if we consider the fact that I went through a long period of time there where I didn't do any Let's Play type stuff at all. I just did vlogs because I just felt like I had to step away from it and just enjoy games for a bit. And I'm still a bit on and off with it because of the whole YouTube scenario, what's going on with it. But you know, considering that all I was doing was the vlogs, and to still gain 1,000 subscribers was, I mean, that's just absolutely brilliant. I'm really, really made up about it. And I know, like, you can watch these videos till you're blue in the face, and people will say, oh, it means the world to me. It does. And they'll start crying, and they'll tell you all sorts of things, and then they'll tell you to go on the Patreon thing and give them a $5. Well, I'm not going to tell you to go on my Patreon thing and give me a $5, but I'm not going to cry either. I'm just telling you that I am extremely grateful, and it means the absolute world to me that 5,000 of you out there, over 5,000 of you out there, want to connect with me on a regular basis, want to hear what I've got to say, enjoy whatever it is that I do here on this here channel. And I really, thank you so much. And if they sort out the YouTube machine, if they give us an option that lets us be safe as creators and not left hanging in the wind with possible fines over us, then perhaps we can head towards 6,000. I mean, you know, the sky's the limit now, people. It really is. So there you are. Thank you ever so much. Thank you to you all, from the people that subbed from the very beginning who've been with me since then, to the people who've just subbed now, and everybody in between. You're a superstar. Thank you ever so much. Right, that's enough of that humbleness and thankfulness and all that malarkey. Well, it is Christmas. You know, the irony is that... Well, it's not an irony. The strange thing is, I guess, is that I've got all my Christmas decorations up now, and you can only see one of them. You can only, it's the same last year, I think. You can only see the stocking in the corner there, but the lights go all the way around and all the way just above here. And there's a little tree over there. You can't see half of them. Never mind, who wants to see that? You've got all my little gadgets in the background there. That's a real word, gadgets. I think you'll find. So, we're going to talk about, I've got my little telephone machine here. We're going to talk about the Game Awards, people. The Game Awards 2019. And you know the most exciting thing about the Game Awards? The trailers. The trailers and reveals. That's what people get most excited about. And we'll announce, well, you probably know what in honour of the game that won, which wasn't Bloodborne, but it was the company that made Bloodborne, I thought I'd put the Bloodborne t-shirt on, which I haven't, I think I've only ever worn it once, the Bloodborne t-shirt. So, anyway, let's crack into the Game Awards 2019, and I've just picked out a couple of things that I was like, woo, that's amazing. So, first up, let's just talk about the big one. The next Xbox, people. We know that the next Xbox and the next PlayStation 5 are coming out next holiday season, people. Next year, we're going to have 2 brand new consoles from both companies. And Microsoft are not hanging about. I mean, what they revealed yesterday at the Game Awards is nothing short of what we would have got, well, early this morning at the Game Awards, if you're in this country, is nothing short of what they would normally have given us in an E3 about a month before it was about to start. I mean, they actually showed us. I mean, I have downloaded all the trailers for what I'm going to talk about, people, so you will see all of this funky stuff happening behind me while I'm chatting. But you will, to reveal what it's going to look like and show us the controller now a year in advance is absolutely awesome. I mean, it's like they don't want to have these, like, keep people in the dark things anymore, especially Microsoft, because they want people to want an Xbox before they get a year from now. They want people to want this thing. So they're not only showing that off, but they're also starting to give us teasers of exclusives that are coming, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So they are not shy about it at all. PlayStation are being open about it. They've given us lots of details about the PS5, but there was nothing monumental at the Game Awards about the PS5, but they did show off footage of a game that is running on the PS5, so we'll get to that as well. But the trailer that I'll be showing behind me, it kind of shows you all this fancy shiz, and then you see the console at the end with the controller lying in front of it. Now, there's some interesting things here. Firstly, they've also given us the name. It's called the Xbox Xbox Series X, whatever that means. So, I guess what it means is they're going to give us I don't get that the console will be called an Xbox Series X. So is it going to be the Xbox X or the Xbox blah? I don't know. So I'm not sure. Like, I can't imagine that is just one console going to be called the Xbox Series X. Maybe it is, but it seems a bit of a weird name. I mean, it's fine. It works. They were calling it Project Scorpio. Now it's Xbox Series X. And I'm just wondering if Xbox Series X is a group of... Because there's been rumours that they were going to do one with a disc drive, they was going to do one without a disc drive, just online, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm wondering if that's why. Because they were talking about their next title of the... Only a week ago, Phil Spencer was saying that the title of what they were going to call it would be about what it does, or something about its purpose. So Xbox Series X, what does that tell us about its purpose? I don't know. Does it tell us it's a family, or what? I don't know. But anyway, so they're giving away a bit on the title there. And if you look at the shape of it, it was really interesting, because the Xbox One X, which I have and is my favourite console at the moment, is a great, slick, beautifully designed machine. I absolutely adore it. It's really, really quiet. And, it's dead slim. And yet you look at this thing and it's like a massive... Well, I say massive. I suppose the controller's next to it. It's not huge. But in comparison to the Xbox One X, it's probably another Xbox One X laying on top of it. It's like a rectangular cube shape is what they've got, with massive vents at the top. Now, that's fine. I'm not going to have a go at it about that, because we're talking about an insane amount of power now going into these things, and there is no way with that amount of power and that amount of heat being generated that you can continue to put things into slim devices. Like, I mean, we know, like, as time goes on and technology advances, that later versions of things become slimmer. Fine, I get that. But we're talking about an uber amount of power going into these next-gen consoles. And there is no point in them shoving them into the tightest space boxes and then getting a massive... Like, this is my biggest problem with the Pro. The PlayStation 4 Pro is a great machine, but it's too bloody loud. Every time I put it on, all I can hear is fans going off. It's like, I don't want that. I'd rather have a box that's higher and wider with vents all over it, giving me a nice quiet experience. So the next gen of console, at the moment, the way things stand and the way that I see Microsoft doing things, I think my primary console will be the next Xbox, unless Sony sort out the noise factor on their PlayStations and give us something, you know, that matches. Obviously the two are going to be comparable in power. There's no way that they're going to be that different this time. But that is, the noise for me is key. Like, I don't want a noisy machine going off. So quiet. The Xbox One X is so quiet, honestly. It's unbelievable. So anyway, I was really, I'm really impressed with what I saw. I'm still a little bit unsure about the design of it, the big sort of rectangular cube thing. I'm not sure how that all, because my Xbox One X looks amazing in the unit. There is you can sit the Xbox One X on its side. This one that you're looking at clearly is sitting on its side already, long ways, like a tower unit almost on the floor. But you can sit it either way. So they have purposely designed it almost like they did with the 360, that it can be sat on its side, and most prominently probably will be by a lot of people. Because we've got to a point now, I've got my X in the cabinet behind the door, but the door is forever open because it is madness to put a console inside a unit that's closed off. And even though it's got a little space at the back to let air out, it's not enough. You know, it needs to have a lot of air around it, a console or a PC. It's like a PC. It needs a lot of air to keep it cool. So there's no point. You can't have them in units like that. So for me, if I get that unit, there's a bit of a chance I might sit it outside on its side, but probably it'll end up in the same place with the door open. Or I'll put it where the PlayStation 4 is, which is not behind the door. It's in a little unit above on the left-hand side, above a drawer which is just open. So I could put that there. Anyway, we'll see. But it looks really great. I mean, it's a fantastic unit. I was just a bit surprised about just how cube-like it was, you know, like, but it does look good though. The controller's a really interesting part because the controller is almost identical. Now, there's two things I've picked up on here, right? The controller is identical to this. Well, not identical, but near as damn it identical to this Xbox One X controller, right? But they've added a third button here, almost like a V shape. There's a button here, and it looks like an upload button. It's got an upload symbol on it. It's exactly the same as these are the two little buttons in the middle. If I can get those in there. These two, the start and the menu, whatever they're called now. And there's another one just in the middle of them below. And it's got a little share symbol on it. And, well, it's got a little, what looks like an upload symbol on it, to be fair. So I assume that is their version of the share button, which is on the PlayStation 4 controller. And that's perfect. That's ideal. Because at the moment, you've got to tap that. You've got to hit X. You've got a Y. Or you've got to do a bunch of stuff. So to have a particular share button or upload button is absolutely brilliant. The D-pad, I've said a couple of things. The D-pad looks a bit different, but the whole shape of the thing is pretty much the same. The one thing I've always grumbled about this is still probably my favourite controller because it's the most robust. And there is a lot I like about the PlayStation 4 controllers, but they are not as robust. They don't stand the test of time as well. The sticks are still too much of rubber and not enough. This was brilliant when they put this hard stuff on the sticks for this version of the Xbox 360 ones had rubber sticks. These have got more of a, I don't know what it is. It's more of a plastic type stuff going around the rims. But my one gripe with this controller was that the sticks were just too long. And it's still a bit of a gripe because they're too sensitive because of the length. You're playing, especially third-party games, you go to move something, you've got to be really, it's like really sensitive. And it looks like, you don't get a proper angle on that controller, but it looks like they might have just shortened those sticks a little bit. And for me, that would be my perfect controller. I would absolutely adore it if they had done that. I could be wrong, because I can't quite see it. But I held this up in front of the picture that was on the screen when I was looking at it on YouTube. And when you look at it face on, it does look like those sticks are a little bit shorter. And that would be awesome if they've done that. Absolutely fantastic. Cool, blimey, people. I'm getting a bit thirsty. Should we have a drink? Yeah, you go join me, people. Go and get one. I'll wait for you. Or you can pause me. Maybe that's a better idea. Oh, that's so good. Right. Next. So yes, uber stoked about the Xbox Series X. I'm hoping there's a bit of it. I don't know. That's still bugging me, that Xbox Series X. Can't be called an Xbox Series X, but I don't get it. I'm assuming that's what the global group of the consoles is going to be called. And then we'll have an Xbox Pro and an Xbox Semi and an Xbox Online or something like that. So, fingers crossed, people. So the one thing they showed off running on it is because Senua's Sacrifice, which was cross-platform, was made by Ninja Theory, and Ninja Theory were independent when they made that game. Microsoft have now bought them as a company, and they are making, well, it's called Senua's Saga now, as opposed to Senua's Sacrifice, because they've now made a follow-up to Hellblade. Hellblade 2! This time it's personal, people. So they showed that off running on the PS5, but they just it was a bit of them walking around, and there was it was a very powerful clip, to be fair to it, or trailer if you're in America. And the character in it's doing Senua's doing a proper sort of chant. It was like tribal chant thing. It was really powerful. It was impressive stuff. And the in-engine graphics are just incredible. And I loved Hellblade. Thought it was a fantastic game. So I'm well chuffed that that's getting a sequel. And with the fact they've now got Microsoft's money behind them, I think they'll be able to, well, hopefully they already have, but they've got another year of development they can play with. But I'm thinking that it's going to be a massive leap forward from where Senua's Sacrifice was. Because I think Senua's Sacrifice was great as a story-driven type game. The battle system was really good, but there wasn't any meat and bones behind the battle system that made you sink your teeth into it, So I suspect maybe we'll get some more way of leveling things up or doing some more with it, maybe. That's the only thing that was missing, but I mean, it was still a great game. I mean, the whole game is about mental illness, so... Which, to be fair, I didn't know that, and a lot of people say, how did you not know that by playing it? I was like, well, nothing in that game said to me it was meant to be about mental illness. I just thought I was in a weird world. It's like... But I get it, now that I'm told it's, about mental illness. I kind of see it, I see what's going on. So anyway, that was, it looked absolutely awesome. So if that's anything to go by so far as the power of the new Xbox, then absolutely fantastic. We also had the only thing, well, PlayStation obviously didn't want to be too shy about things, so they pitched up with a trailer for Godfall, which, to be honest, I was watching the trailer. I'm always a bit dubious about trailers where people are head to toe in armor, or it's robots, or it's mechs, or because you can only get a true feel for just how good graphics are when you see human or animal type faces, creatures, bodies, that sort of stuff, where it's living organisms moving around rather than just mechs. It's always a bit of a cop out to see mechy armory type stuff only and not see the meat and bones of what's behind it. However, all of that said, the trailer for Godfall looked absolutely fantastic. I couldn't make out head and a tail of what it was meant to be. Just these sort of people in armour and things in the sky, godlike snake-type creatures in the sky. But it looked incredible. It looked absolutely fantastic. But I didn't really... I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Now, I watched all of these clips before I recorded this, but that is the one that's least standing out to me, because it didn't show me enough to make me go, ooh, wow, incredible, or anything like that. So, I don't know. It's interesting. I suppose they don't want to give too much away about what's happening in the next gen, but by the same token, you're going to want something memorable to be opening that launch with. I would have thought they might have given a teaser with something like that, but they didn't do. That all said, though, I think what we're going to talk about next is probably why, because they don't want to take the shine off of Ghosts of Tsushima, which is the game that I did not anticipate being the last game of the PS4. I thought that would have been the Last of Us, but we know we're getting the Last of Us in, well, it was February. Now, what is it now? May? Something like that. So at that point, I thought, well, when the bloody hell is Ghost of Tsushima coming out? Because that's definitely a PS4 game. So when does that happen? Because we knew about it donkeys ago. And the trailer you'll be seeing behind me is the one that was shown at the Game Awards. And it, honestly, this is the first trailer. I remember seeing the first one. I remember talking about it, thinking it looked good, but I was like unsure about it. And as time went on, we didn't see a lot of it. But watching this trailer, it really stoked me, actually. I was watching it and I was like, this feels like... you won't get it from watching it in silence behind me, but it was the vibe of the music of that Japanese world, the samurai thing going on. It's soaking a lot more of that world up than Sekiro does. I mean, Sekiro, which won Game of the Year, by the way, which we'll talk about in a minute, but Sekiro doesn't lend itself to you connecting with anybody in the game, to investing in that world, to, you know, it is like a Dark Souls game so far as you are literally trying to get from area to area through a bunch of samurai type enemies or Japanese army type enemies, and you are this samurai character and blah blah blah. But it doesn't give you any lore that you would soak yourself into, that I remember anyway. I mean, I didn't play all of it, I only played about 4 hours. I am getting the feel for playing it again, though, to be fair, and I'm sure the lore's there. It's just, with both From Software games, it's a bit weird, isn't it? But the Ghost of Tsushima trailer that we're looking at, it really got my vibe up for this game, and it feels like a proper open world samurai RPG type game. And it's almost that sort of stealthy... I don't want to throw the word Assassin's Creed about here, because it would do it an injustice, I think, to say that. But it has that underlying vibe of that sort of world, where you'll be travelling around this samurai-type world, raiding camps, trying to get revenge, building up your power, side quests, that sort of stuff. And it did have that vibe about it. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And this is from the people, isn't it? The people that gave us Infamous and all that. I mean, the first Infamous game was incredible. An open world city, and, you know... So they kind of know what they're doing with these open world environments, and they know what they're doing with action and powers and leveling things up, and the story looks fantastic. The vibe of the world looks fantastic. The lore looks amazing. The graphics look incredible. And I think this is going to be the perfect signing off for the PS4. I really do. From looking at that trailer, it looks fantastic. And they showed us a lot of gameplay in that trailer as well, which was great. So I'm actually starting to get pretty psyched about that game, because I think that's a samurai type game that I can get into and enjoy and still have a challenge, but not be the kind of nigh on impossible challenge that a Sekiro would give you, with the pain that sort of game gives you. So there is a place, I think, for a second game in that sort of world. So yeah, I'm totally stoked for it. Totally stoked for Ghost of Tsushima now after seeing that trailer. Which brings us to the last thing to talk about. Well, the last thing that was on my list, people. Which, we have another sip of beer. Why not? The last thing to talk about, which was the game of the year, which was Sekiro, which is a surprise result for a lot of people, apparently. Doesn't surprise me, so far as when, anyone watching the YouTube channel knows that my son and me played that on camera for our voices on camera over playing it for the first 4 hours. I've had a lot of fun with it, and the 4 episodes are up there on the channel, and I loved the gameplay, and I was getting right into it, and then I got my first sort of semi-boss, but not semi-boss, like almost like just like my first strong character in an area, like in Dark Souls it would have been the Silver Knights and stuff that was sort of scattered about the place, who gave you a bit of a challenge, and I just couldn't wrap my head around it. And then we ended up at the first boss, and I couldn't wrap my head around that either, because it was completely different to how Dark Souls and stuff had worked. And when Aaron went back to Edinburgh, he eventually started hammering the Soulsy games again, and then he played Sekiro and he finished it. and he's now adamant that it's his favourite From Software game. Although he does still love Bloodborne, but he adores Sekiro, and that in itself, I think, lends a lot to, I think, the fact that it was a bit of a surprise winner, because I think I don't know who votes on these things. Is it people? Or is it normal folk that vote on these things, or is it a committee like the Oscars? I don't know, but anyway, it is a brilliant game. You know, without any shadow of doubt. From the bit I played, the gameplay is amazing, the world's amazing, the areas are amazing, the battle system's amazing. You just got to try and wrap your head around it, and you know, but it's, you know, it was a bit of a surprise. I think a lot of people were expecting something a bit more Resident Evil-y, or, you know, or whatever. But congratulations to them, and this is why we are wearing this fine Bloodborne t-shirt in honour of them as a company. I'm going to have another sip. And there you are. So that's pretty much all I had, people. I'm still struggling with the Let's Plays, people. I keep telling you I'm going to do some more, but the fact remains that YouTube have not sorted anything out that is going to take any worry away from me that some bot system from the FTC or whoever is going to tell me that I've aimed a video at kids, and I haven't. And as someone who does this part-time, if I had 10 million subs and I was making a gazillion pounds, people, I wouldn't give a shit about it. But I'm just a guy who does this for fun. So you can tell me that I'm panicking, you can tell me that it's all scaremongering, but it really isn't. We are wide open to some ridiculous bot system just telling us we're due a fine of, you know, whatever stupid amount of money. And, you know, that might be... I mean, whatever amount it is just stupid, because I have no control over stopping children viewing my content. I don't make content for children, but that doesn't mean that it won't be deemed that it was aimed at a child. So because it's gaming, I'm kind of stuck in this nowhere land. Like a lot of other channels doing a lot of other things are still as well. And somewhere down the line, somebody, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to end up in an argument with the FTC or a court case with the FTC because they've been told that their video was aimed at children when it wasn't. So there is no reason for me to put myself in that worry place when I just do this for fun and to connect with you guys. And, you know, I'm not... I mean, it's sad, really. It's really a shame, and I'm hoping that they will sort something out and give us a tick box we can tick to say, please don't let children watch my channel, or, you know, this is balanced content and a child might like it, or something in between that just protects me from that sort of fining, because I don't have any button I can click to stop me being in that place of worry other than saying it is aimed at children, and then you guys can barely see my channel anymore. So, you know. Anyway, I live in hope, people. I keep the channel up there. The deadline for me is the 28th. I travel down to my big bro's for New Year and his birthday on the 29th. And I'm away then over the New Year, and I'll be back on the 2nd or whatever it is. And so the new rules for the FTC copper thing all kick off for YouTube, kick off on the 1st of January. So I will need to do that. I'll need to make up my mind as to whether I'm disconnecting the channel for a bit until things are sorted out, or what I'm doing. Because I'm certainly not going to leave it up the way that it is. I can't do. It's too much of a worry, and I don't need it. So please do, if you haven't already, we still can keep in touch. I have set up the Facebook page. This vlog will go up on the Facebook page if it's not too long. It's only about half an hour so far, or not too big with all the clips on it. If it is too big, I'll probably split it into two, so I will be posting it up on the Facebook page as well as the YouTube machine. And I also had recorded a few segments, not full Let's Plays, but I thought it'd be a good idea because I've been playing a lot of Jedi Fallen Order this week. I'm loving that game. And I've recorded about 3 segments I'm going to sort of chop up and I'll put on, I think it was 2 different Tomb areas. So I'll throw them up on Facebook only. So if you do head over to the Facebook page, I will, and like it or follow it or whatever it is you need to do, If I do need to shut the channel down, the Facebook page is where you'll be able to stay properly connected with me. There is also the Twitter account where you can tweet to me or whatever. I tend not to post stuff up game-wise on the Twitter machine, so it will be mainly the Facebook machine. But if you want to keep in touch with me, Twitter's a place to do it. So get over to the Facebook page if you do want to stay in touch with me, because I have no idea what I'm going to have to do on the 28th. So, you know, my hope at this point is that I can deactivate the channel for a period of time until I hear that they've done something for creators where I can tick a box and then come back on and feel safe. That's my hope at the moment. Because you can deactivate without deleting, but it will mean that all of my content will not be visible for that period of time, however long it is. So to keep in touch with me, get over to that Facebook page, people, and like it, follow it, and you will see me putting content up there. Any gameplay I do at the moment, I'm probably going to do it in snippets like I've done with that Jedi Fallen Order stuff, and throw up some clips of whatever it is I'm doing onto the Facebook page. And I will continue to do, I'll still do a Christmas vlog like I tend to do every year on the YouTube machine before I do have to do anything with it, and that will go up on the Facebook page as well. Whew, have I said everything? As a by the by, and just going back slightly now that I've mentioned Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order as a game has actually made me want to play Sekiro again, because the battle mechanic is a similar animal, so far as it's all about timing your blocks and parrying and getting the stamina bars down so you can take enemies out. It's exactly that sort of concept that's in Sekiro, but a bit tougher. So it's kind of given me that buzz to go back and revisit Sekiro, along with the fact that it won Game of the Year, and I've still got it for the Xbox One X. Anyway, side point. I meant to mention it earlier and I forgot, people. I don't know, it's not very professional, is it? There you are. That is all I have to talk about this week, people. It has been an honour and a privilege serving for you once again in this vlog of mine, and I shall see you all next time, people. Take it easy. Bye.